In this video, we want to talk more about the traffic cop of your solar system. And the traffic cop of your solar system is the charge controller. What the charge controller does is it takes the power that comes from your solar panels and converts that to the appropriate voltage for your battery system and allows your batteries to absorb that and store it as energy for later consumption. With this charge controller, it almost always contains things to help you charge your battery at the appropriate configuration or profile, as you'll hear a lot of people refer to it. These profiles can help you keep from overcharging your batteries. They can help you limit the charge rate so that you don't harm the batteries with over voltage or over power. It will also help you manage when the battery is appropriately charged, how you want to treat that battery, and it can also help you configure whether, if you don't stick with only lithium iron phosphate batteries and you're using lead acid, these profiles can be significantly different, and it'll allow you to configure those different profiles for your batteries. A lot of use cases need batteries to be charged a different way or at a different rate, so this will allow you to do that. It also manages once a battery gets charged, what does it do? We traditionally call this float mode. And float mode basically means my battery's full, but I don't want to leave it, crammed to the tank. I don't want to stand there at the gas station pumping every drop in as the motor's running and just keep adding drop after drop. And let it soothe out a little bit and then keep it at a full state, but not a full right up to the brim. Whereas when you were charging it, you may fill it right up to the brim and then back off and let it. The charge controller, being the traffic cop, takes care of this for you, and it allows you to understand the concepts behind your particular battery chemistry. It allows you to configure your charging system to work in conjunction with multiple charge controllers so that they charge your batteries the way you want them charged and safely can operate. I am only covering MPPT charge controllers today. There is a such thing as a PWM. They are very old at this point, and most people don't use them except on extreme use cases of small 12-volt systems. I don't cover them. The MPPT takes voltage in from your solar panels, and it converts it to your battery and allows the battery to store that energy, all of the energy that's collected, because it converts it down to what that battery needs. A MPPT or a PWM charger basically trims that extra voltage off and allows whatever is left or allows the base amount to flow into the battery. So it only works on limited scenarios, but I don't consider it anywhere near as safe, and it's not where the industry is going at this point. So I suggest that you stick with an MPPT charge controller unless you have a very specific use case and know that a PWM is the appropriate charger for you. Charge controllers, especially MPPT charge controllers, are sized based on input voltage and output amperage. Now, let me give you an explanation of this. If you have a string of solar panels like we do here in this diagram, there's two panels here run in series. Now, if each of these panels are operating at 30 if each of these panels are operating at 30 volts, then that means because they're ran in series, the voltage will add on, and it'll be sending through that PV disconnect to the charge controller up here in the top right-hand part of the screen. It'll be sending its power as represented as 60 volts. It'll then take that 60 volts and convert it down to what is needed to charge these 12-volt batteries at the bottom. What is important to understand here is that this charge controller, and you'll see the 100 here, means that it takes a maximum input of 100 volts, meaning these panels can send no more than 100 volts or it could do damage. You also need to take into consideration cold weather, the voltage goes up, hot weather, the voltage goes down. So you want to make sure you do the calculation for cold weather, or that you could have problems with these panels in the winter that you don't see during the summer. When it does the output going to the 12-volt system, this is what the 20 represents in this model number here. It's going to output a maximum of 20 amps. And yes, that means that if this charge controller works with both 12 volt, 24 volt, and 48 volt, then the maximum and output would double between 12 volts and 24 volts and double again between 24 and 48 volts. Because 20 amps at 12 volts is half of that of 24 volts and half again of 48 volts. I hope that's clear. And if not, put a comment in the down below and I'll be glad to do that. Also, if you enjoy this type of video, please make sure that you subscribe so that you can follow along with the other videos that I'm making in this same series. And if you would like a copy of this diagram, as you see on the screen here, complete with a wiring guide chart and everything, please, there's a link below. Please sign up for the email list below, and I'll send that PDF right out to you so that you can get working on your solar system. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the charge controller. Charge controller controls the charging speed of your system, allowing you to, in some systems, to communicate with the battery to slow down when you get close to full, to speed up when you're far away from it, to understand the maximum charge rate of the battery bank that you have in play so that you don't overcharge or undercharge your battery, allowing for the most efficient thing. But that's what this traffic cop is going to do. It's going to allow you to configure those standards so that you understand how you're charging. It can share data, as I stated before, between your inverter to understand how much power your inverter is going to need versus how much power is being produced by your solar panels versus how much is going into your batteries to make sure that you're not going to over provide for your batteries, but make sure that you're providing enough and that you're speeding up and slowing down appropriate based on the charging profile that you have configured. Now, in this diagram, you'll notice here that one charge controller can control more than one panel. It is very, very common for large strings of 8 or 10 panels to be fed into a single charge controller. You can even take multiple of those. For example, here at the solar shed, I have 8 panels in series, but I have 2 of those paralleled. So I have 16 panels going into 2 MPPTs, or going into an MPPT, and then I have another 16 panels set up the same way going into a second MPPT. So as you can see, it is very common to build these combinations within the restrictions of the 100-volt input that you have here and the 20 amp output that you have here would depend on your charge controller, and you need to make sure that that's sized appropriately. Keeping in mind all of this, you want to make sure that your setup has been thought out from your battery size to your charging rate to your wire sizes to support the amperage of your charge, and you want to make sure that your solar panels are matched and in series or in parallel correctly. I will have a video later on series and parallel panels that'll help you with this. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. I hope this helped.